Last but certainly not least in this series is the LMDh chassis manufacturer that has achieved immense successes over the past years and even holds an unintended monopoly on an entire class of racing. I'm talking of course about the dominant Oreca. Oreca, or Organisation Exploitation Competition Automobile, which roughly translates to Organization for Running Automobile Competition, was founded by Hugues de Chaunac in 1972 and initially started out as a Formula 3 team in the French and European championships. Rather quickly, Oreca established itself as very competitive and a well-run team by winning the French F3 championship just a year later. Jacques Laffite was the one behind the wheel then and started the trend of Oreca being a stepping stone in French F1 drivers' careers. Yannick Dalmat, Jean Alesi, René Arnoux, Didier Pironi and Alain Prost all started their impressive careers at Oreca. Hugues de Chaunac had always been fascinated by the 24 Hours of Le Mans, and through a link with Renault and Elf, sponsors and partners in the F3 program, he was offered a unique opportunity by Renault to run a fourth privateer Alpine A442B next to the three factory-operated cars. The offer came just 6 weeks before the race, but Chaunac did not hesitate and accepted the challenge. He would choose his current two promising F3 drivers Didier Pironi and René Arnoux to pilot the car, which wasn't a brand new chassis by the way, but rather a test car Renault used for development purposes, meaning it already had 11,000 kilometers on it. That didn't stop the small team and its drivers though, as their Alpine even managed to set the fastest time in one of the practice sessions, upsetting the main factory team. The race itself didn't last long as the car didn't even manage to finish the opening lap. A loose oil line had started leaking onto the turbo, which resulted in a fire. A disappointing result, but it did spark the Le Mans obsession. A few years later, in 1981, Oreca returned to Le Mans with a lot more preparation and a new car, a BMW M1 Pro car fitted with a more aerodynamic body. It wasn't that competitive in class, having to battle against the dominant turbocharged Porsche 935s, but at the very least Oreca did manage to finish the race in 16th place overall. Oreca would stick with BMW for a while as they had a unique task for them. Rally racing had become immensely popular and the French delegate of BMW wanted a piece of the cake. And what better way to gain attention and publicity by turning their top-of-the-line model into a rally monster. Oreca converted a former M1 Pro car race car into a rally car which would compete in the French Rally Championship, which was run on mostly tarmac rallies, and a select few tarmac WRC rallies. From the get-go, it was clear that even with the modifications, the big 420 horsepower strong circuit racer was not suited to the tight and twisty rallies. It didn't survive most of them either, with numerous suspension failures. It achieved only one decent result at the last round of the 1984 French Rally Championship by finishing in second place. The Oreca team would keep a presence in the rally world and help create or run several rally and off-road racing cars, some more unique than others, but all very competitive. There was the hugely successful ex-Group B Peugeot 205 T16 Rallycross, which won the French Rallycross Championship several times, the Lada Samara T3 Rally Raid car, a collection of various BMW-based ice racers, the Renault Clio S1600 and the stillborn Dacia Logan S2000 car, which was based on it, Toyota and Skoda ice racers, and various FIA R4 class rally cars. To get back to Oreca's endurance racing history, we arrive at the team's first big Le Mans success as Hugues de Chaunac's team and expertise would be called upon once again to help the team compete in the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Mazda had one more chance at winning the race as Group C Racing was about to adopt a new rule set. They had already improved their 787 into the 787B and now needed someone to help race it in the 1991 World Sports Car Championship. They chose Oreca. The 787B was, despite popular belief, not a very fast car, having qualified a morale-crushing 12 seconds behind the twin-turbo V8 monster piloted by a young Michael Schumacher, the Sauber C11. A total of 3 787Bs started the race in 19th, 23rd and 30th place. What followed was an impressive all-out run of sheer determination. The number 55's win at the end of the 24-hour race was the work of a well-executed and planned strategy at the hands of the entire team and drivers, and Oreca was a part of that. In the later half of the 90s, Oreca found themselves involved in one of their best partnerships to date. The American Chrysler brand wanted to prove the Viper was more capable than other contemporary supercars, and the best way to do so was on the racetrack. The initial all-American effort quickly went international as Oreca was one of the first teams to race the Viper GT-SR. Them winning the 1997 FIA GT2 World Championship marked the start of a healthy relationship between Oreca and Chrysler, as starting from 1998, every Viper GTSR would be built in America as a rolling chassis and then assembled and completed in France at Oreca's headquarters. Oreca was responsible for the customer racing department and support of the eventual dozens of racing teams that bought a GTSR. When Chrysler pulled out of the program, Oreca continued to develop the GTSR up until 2005. Almost 50 cars were built and raced in dominant fashion by various teams all over the world. Oreca would partner with a different American brand as they were responsible for construction of the last few Saleen S7Rs. They campaigned it successfully in the French GT Championship in 2006 and 2007, dominantly winning the series on both occasions. As mentioned in the Dallara video, Oreca also took over Chrysler's LMP program in the early 2000s, when they raced the Chrysler Mopar LMP as the Dallara Oreca Judd LMP with moderate success. Oreca would end up competing and winning in various LMP cars as a privateer team. Most noteworthy achievements were with an Audi R8 in 2005 and a diesel Peugeot 908 in which they won the Le Mans Series Championship in 2010 and the 12 Hours of Sebring in 2011. In 2012, they were tasked by Toyota to help run the racing program in the World Endurance Championship with their LMP1 car and together achieved numerous victories. Prototype racing clearly worked for Oreca, and a major milestone in their history was when they bought Courage in 2007, an established prototype racing constructor since 1982. This was a big leap for Hugues and his team. Collaborating with various brands is one thing, but becoming a constructor yourself is a whole other task. They initially struggled, but slowly but surely improved year after year, culminating in the Oreca 07 LMP2 car. It's hard to describe just how good of a car the Oreca 07 is. All LMP2 cars share the same Gibson V8 engine, and initially there was quite a decent variety on the grids, with several cars featured from all of the 4 brands. But relatively fast, the 07 proved to be the best of them all. The other 3 options are obsolete now, and LMP2 now is pretty much referred to by many as the Oreca Cup. Over 100 Oreca 07 chassis have been bought by teams from all over the world. An Oreca 07 has won every ELMS, ALMS, WEC and IMSA class championship since 2017. That's 5 years of non-stop dominance. The 07 also served as the backbone for the Rebellion R13 LMP1 car, the Alpine A480 hypercar and the Acura ARX 05 DPI. Oreca now is looking to continue their successful streak with the upcoming Alpine and Acura ARX 06 LMDh cars. Their former LMP2 rivals are all lined up for a new battle, but by now it should be clear that Oreca is always up for a challenge. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it and subscribe if you don't want to miss out on the next one.